Guys, welcome back to Tiffany Colors. My name is Tiffany, and in today's video I thought we would do a color with me out of color by number book. There we go. I couldn't think for a minute. I thought we would use my set of 48 pastel Ohuhu markers. I'll show you how I pick my colors for my color by numbers, and then we'll go on top of it for some shading with my Crayola Supertips. So I'll show you how I do that as well. All right, guys, let me clear my desk and we can get started. Okay, so I have a really big stack of color by number or color by line book like this one is. And I thought we would go through some of the different color by numbers that are out there. I noticed lately a lot of people are getting into color by numbers, especially as we get into a busy summer season. Sometimes we don't have all the time to sit and really be creative, and so we just need a quick de-stressor. And as you say, stress relief right there. And we just need something really quick to put some color down on paper. We don't want to think about colors. And so I'm going to show you some of the different color by number books out there and the differences in the numbers as far as the darkness of the numbers so that they can easily be covered up. Some of them are light gray, which I really like, because I've had some questions from viewers saying, well, how do you get rid of the numbers? The numbers really bother me. And so if you find a book to start out with, if you're just starting out with color by numbers, I would find a book that has the light gray numbers on it so that they can easily be covered either by like colored pencil, going over the top with colored pencil, a darker color pencil in the corners, because a lot of times the numbers are actually in the corner of the page, and so you kind of just color that in and blend it to cover it. Or the newest thing I've loved doing color by number with is my acrylic paint pens, which I'm sure you've seen a lot of those being done in these Disney books, especially on TikTok and stuff, where they take these Disney books and they color them in with paint pens, because then it colors over the number and it's like a paint by number, which is really fun. But yeah, so I'm going to show you, let's get started with some of the different books that are out there. This one I really love, and I noticed there's more color by line books out there. I think the first person to come out with these books was Kira Shershneva. She did color by colors, and I have several of her books too. Actually, let me go pull one of her books to show you. So this is Color by Color Spring, and she gives you a color palette in the front to go by so you can match up your colors. But the blank ones, they just have an outline of the color you're supposed to use in the middle, and so you can match it up to your colors perfectly. Or what I like to do is go a little bit lighter than this color, so then it looks like there's an outline around each section, which is really cool. So this was the first really introduction to color by line, and if people didn't like the numbers, they were coloring in these books, which is a lot of fun to do too. I have several of these books. Here's one finished. And I love using my Ohuhu pastel markers in these two. Not to mention this is like premium glossy paper, so your alcohol markers tend to glide right over it. And then this one I outlined in gel pen. So there is a lot of fun things you can do to these color by number or color by line books to really make the page pop. Here's one I did in all watercolors. This was watercolor pencil, and then I took a water brush and just blended it in. It held it up actually quite well. I was shocked because this paper doesn't really take water where it's so smooth, but it actually didn't do too bad. So you could also do that. You could use your water-based markers in here. So yeah, these books are a lot of fun. If you really don't like the color by numbers or the numbers showing through, then these books can be probably more up your alley. So they still give you the colors that you need to use. Like this, obviously, teapot is red. The roof is orange. We've got greenery here. You could do whatever you wanted for the background color, if you wanted blue or purple or pink. But yeah, so it gives you the colors to use so you don't have to think about it. But when they're finished, you don't see any of the numbers, which is kind of fun. And then my favorite way is to go in with colored pencils and just darken up the edges a little bit so that it looks like there's some shading on the page. So yeah, more and more of these books are coming out there. Sachin Sachdeva has some of these color by line books. This is by Viva Tinta. They've also come out with another one. So I would just search on Amazon, Stress Relief Color by Line coloring books, and you'll see a whole bunch pop up. So here's some, speaking of Sachin Sachdeva, here's some of his pocket size books. I have a huge collection of Sachin Sachdeva's books, mainly because for a while there he was sending me books and I would review them for him on my channel. And I mean, he just pumps out books like there's no tomorrow. So it got a little overwhelming and I had to stop, unfortunately. But I do love his work. And now I'm part of his Patreon. He did come out with a Patreon page where you get like samples of his newer books, which I love because I don't need a full book. I just need a few samples that I can print out when I feel like it. And yeah, on the paper that I like, because I really don't like his paper. For some reason, his Amazon paper is a lot different than some of the other color by number papers. Like, for instance, Alexandra Franzese's paper, even though it's Amazon paper, it's a much better quality in my opinion than Sachin's. Now, her coloring books are also more expensive than Sachin's, so we got to keep that in mind as well. And then this one that is by Sachin, this one's actually on glossy paper. So you never know when you order it if you're going to get this glossy paper or if you're going to get more of like this coloring book paper. So yeah, it's hit or miss with his books on the quality, but I love his designs. I love these pocket size ones. So I think when he comes out with the pocket size, I'll continue to collect these because I absolutely love the pocket size. And you can color in these with just plain crayons and outline with water-based markers like we used to do when we were kids, which we thought was so cool. I don't know about you, but I remember figuring out I would take my markers and I would outline and then color it in with crayon, and I just thought that was so cool. So you could do that on these pages. This is one I did completely done with crayons. And then this one I did with some fine liners and some water-based markers because you can see a little bit of streaking, but not bad. That's all alcohol marker. This is alcohol marker with some shading with pencil. So see the different types of styles you can do and get totally different results. This one, again, was alcohol marker, but then I went in with a fine liner. I don't know if you can see that. I'll hold it up to the camera. I went in with fine liner and like did the detail work with a fine liner, which was a lot of fun. So it all depends on what mood I'm in. And then this nail art one, I don't really have a whole lot done in this one. This one I did the whole background with crayon. But yeah, there's still a variety of things you can do in these color by numbers. You don't have to stick to just the shade of numbers that they have on the back. The other thing I like about Sachin is he does give you two different versions, a pastel and then a vibrant. So you can choose between the two how you want the page to come out. That I really do enjoy. I like it when they put examples of their color palette on the back of the page. So, Color by Number Fairy Houses by Alexandra Franzese. I do have quite a collection of these. And actually, I thought today we would work out of this book because I'll put it aside and I'll pull it back once we're done looking at all the different books. Because in honor of her newest coloring book that just came out, it's a cute, cozy one. And it's these kind of houses. I don't remember the name of it. I'll put a picture of it up on screen of her newest release that just came out, so I'm so looking forward to that. I'm definitely going to be adding that one to my collection because I'm really loving the smaller size books. You don't use up as many of your supplies that way. This one came out I think a few years ago. When did this one come out? I've done several pages in here. Let's see, 2023. So yeah, like a couple years ago. And this I was going through doing what I just said that I did when I was a kid, outlining it with water-based marker and then going in with crayon and filling in the middle section, the bigger section. That way I'm not using up all of my alcohol markers. This one I did just straight coloring with alcohol markers. It came out a little bit too vibrant, I think. This was just water-based marker. So you can use water-based markers in her books and they come out really pretty. This is a combination of alcohol and colored pencil. I did colored pencil in the background to give it that cool little design. So obviously the background just said blue, or maybe it was dark blue. And then I went and did my own design like that in the background. And I love to shade. This one I did recently back in April with my pastel Ohuhu markers. So I figured that's what we'll do today because I loved how this came out. We'll pick a page from here and use my pastel markers. But yeah, so I'm going to put that one aside because I really want to work out of that one. But let's continue to look at all the different types of color by number. Now, these are probably one of my favorite type of color by numbers as well. These are more intricate, more detailed by Art Therapy. They have a whole bunch. They're always coming out with new. You get 100 images. This one I pulled off my shelf because this is probably my favorite color by number from my Vitro stash, because of the bigger spaces. You've got bigger spaces to work with. It's not so intricate that you need to squint and try to find the numbers. And yeah, this page here, I did all with colored pencil. So this took me a long time with colored pencil, but I really like the effect that it came out with. I was able to really shade and make it look 3D, three-dimensional. And then let's see, this one was just done with just water-based, Crayola water-based markers. This paper is really nice, so the water-based marker glides across the page and there's minimal streaking. And then I outlined it with a thicker fine liner to make it more of a stained glass look to it. Let's see what else I've done. I did this one. I did some line work with some fine liners. Then I also used some watercolor as well as some water-based marker. So I used several different things on that page. I think I've got more in the front. This was the most recent one I did last month. Here's another one just with water-based markers. That one's all done with watercolor. This one is done with pencils, colored pencils. But yeah, these types are probably one of my absolute favorites. I also love to collect Creative Haven color by number books, and I have several of these. These are very, very intricate by George Tufexis. I don't have any colored in this one. I probably should grab one that I've colored in so you guys can see, but the numbers are really, really small, so you really have to have a good vision for these. They have a pretty good size color palette, so you want to match them up as close as you can for this book. But I do like to still shade even in those books. Let me see if I can find one where I know I've shaded in. Let's see, Glorious Gardens, I think is one. I can get it off my shelf. Okay. So Glorious Gardens, I know I've done some in here. So here's one where I've shaded with fine liners, if you can see that. And so I did it all with alcohol markers. I used my Ohuhu brush nib because it's really fine nib and went in there. I think I've done some though with my Teotrese. Teotrese has a pretty fine nib. This one's all just water-based markers. They come out so colorful and vibrant. They're absolutely gorgeous. Here's one where I did some shading. So I did it all with alcohol markers, and then I went in with my colored pencils and did some shading. And I think the shading just really makes it pop a little bit more off the page. Looks a little more 3D. Here's another one. I did these way back in 2020, so I haven't worked in this book in quite a while. I need to work in it. So yeah, these George Tufexis books are so much fun, but they're very intricate color by numbers. Now Hachette Heroes is coming out with these square books, which I absolutely love. And these are color by number. You get the colors on the bottom, which I didn't talk about in the last one. So you got to match up your colors down here. This one isn't so intricate. Let me show you one I've done. Started that one with some paint pens. I'm trying to see what paint pens will do. But here's one I did with alcohol markers because this one happens to be single-sided. So that was a lot of fun to do. I know I've done more in this book. I've done that one and did some shading with some pencils. There's that one. I used my Prismacolor on that with a base of alcohol marker. But yeah, these pictures just come out gorgeous when you're all done. So this is another favorite of mine, Disney Portraits. Another big favorite is this color by number animals. You've seen this probably in just about every completed page each month. I've actually finished one for this month, the month of June. And so we'll look at some of the pages that are uncolored so you can get a feel. Now here's where we come across the light gray numbers there, which is kind of nice because then when you're finished, whoops, you don't really see the numbers. Unless it's a light color, you're not going to see the numbers as much. And then I go in with colored pencil and shade in a darker color over it, which also helps hide it. But this book is just gorgeous. I love this artist's drawing style. I actually want to get more of her coloring books. Her name is Alexis Joyce. I know she has a cat page out there. It's a color by number cats. I'm not a huge cat fan. Sorry guys if that offends anybody, but if she comes out with a dog one, I am definitely getting the dog color by number because I absolutely love, love, love this book. And I love the fact that the color palette has so many colors. At first I was really intimidated by all the colors, but now that I've gotten the hang of how to pick the colors, I really, really enjoy the fact that we use a lot of colors. And the way she puts the colors together on a page is really pretty too. You're not, I don't know, it's just so cohesive. I just love, 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 love this color by number. So if you're just starting out with color by numbers, I highly suggest this one, Color by Number Animals by Jade Summer. Oh, I should have put these more in order, but this is another Disney color by number, but this is for kids. So it's another French Disney coloring book like the Hachette Heroes, but this is by Hachette Jeunesse, meaning it's for kids. And this is double-sided, unfortunately, so you can't use, well, I guess the other Hachette Heroes, the bigger Vitro one was also double-sided. But there's less numbers to choose from, and the sections are a lot bigger. So it's definitely a lot easier. So if you want to start out with a Disney color by number, but those Hachette Heroes ones by Art Therapy are too much for you, then I would suggest trying one of these. I love that it's in a border. I love the whimsical look of the drawing style. And you can just get a small set of water-based markers, I think. And these colors aren't too detailed. Well, some of them, I guess, can be quite lengthy, but yeah, so I still got more to work on in this one, but this is another fun color by number that's out there. Actually, this particular one I think is out of print, but they make so many different of these Coloriage Magique by Hachette Jeunesse. If you look that up, especially on Lyrica.com, I'll try to link a lot of this stuff in the description below for you to find. But yeah, if you go on to Lyrica, they have, in Lyrica you can, it's a French website, but you can put it to English translation, and then it's free shipping if you spend a certain amount of money. So that's why I like Lyrica. Anyway, so this is a new one to me. This is 100 Color by Number Mysteries by Pixel Colorist, and it is a thick book. There's squares, dots, and diamonds. So here's one with squares. Here's one with diamonds. And I did one just recently with dots out of here. Okay, where's the one I was just flipping through? There's the dot one, which I didn't pick my colors so good. But this is supposed to be of a pug. I own a pug, so that's why I wanted to do this. But yeah, the dot one was fun. And these are mysteries because you don't know what you're coloring until it's all done. And here's one that I did too. I just picked a page and started coloring, and this is what it turned out to be. So yeah, this is fun. The letters are a light gray color. If you used paint pen, then it really definitely covers it up. They have one with white background and they have one with black background, also on Amazon. Here's a color and reveal book. This one I picked up at my local Sam's Club, but you can get this on Amazon. This is a little bit intricate, but not as intricate as the George Tufexis or the Hachette Heroes. I'd say this is middle of the road. Here's one I completed just last month, and I went in with my paint pens and covered it up, so you kind of cover up the numbers. So yeah, this one's really cool. These are all animals too, and you can't tell. It's kind of a mystery until you color it, what the animal is. So yeah, that's another fun color. It's called Color and Reveal Animals, and that is by Thunder Bay Press, which they have really good paper too. Two more to look at. Color by Number Calm. This has, who does this? Chartwell Books, and this is on thinner paper. It is single-sided. These books have been around for a while. I've had this one forever. I've just been practicing trying different colored pencils, and this one I did with my Prismacolors. But yeah, this one has a very nice variety of images. If you're looking for, they have mystery ones like that, plus they have some landscapes, they have some objects, they have patterns. Yeah, there's quite a variety in here. And what's cool about this book is it has a little flap that you pull out so you can see your numbers on the side. That color reveal book actually does too. And so that's kind of nice when they have that flap open. So as you're coloring, you can just glance to see what color corresponds with what. I think that's very cool. So that's Color by Number Calm. And then another one I don't really see out there that much in the coloring community is Color Counts books by Mindware. They have a whole bunch of these. And these have pages that actually come out. So you got double page spreads like this. This is one I completely did with, colored pencils. But these come out really pretty. And they're supposed to be, I think, kind of a mystery, but you can kind of tell what they are. Like this one's an octopus. This one's a mermaid. Ooh, I should have done that one for mermaid. And then they have one without numbers right behind it. So if you don't want to do one with numbers, or what I like to do sometimes is look at the number here and then fill it in with a corresponding back, the one in the back, so that you don't see the number either. So that's kind of nice. Alexandra Franzese also does that with her color by numbers. So her color by numbers also have blank pages in the back. So if you don't want the number showing through, you get double images, and you could always flip to the front, see what color you need on this page, and then color the corresponding image in the back, which is kind of nice. So yeah, that is one good thing. So it's definitely finding the right color by number book out there. I feel like it's a great way to unwind and relax and not have to worry about picking colors. If you're not in the mood to, just literally pick up a red, start coloring, and you'll feel so much better. One, you'll complete a page quite fast, and you'll be happy with that, because when we complete something, it always gives us a boost of good feeling energy, dopamine, right? So yeah, I really think if you haven't tried color by number yet, I highly, highly suggest it. They're one of my favorites. Okay, so that being said, now that we've gone through some of the color by numbers out there, which I'm sure there are plenty others out there I haven't talked about, I thought we would pick a page from this book, and let's see what the next in line is. Because maybe we want to do that one. Oh, it's a tree house. I don't know. Do I feel like doing the tree house? That one has a lot of books. That one's really cool. I do kind of like that one. Ooh, I really like the kitchen page. Okay, I think we're going to do the kitchen page. And I've got my Ohuhu pastel markers here. So I've just got a small palette of colors. This is what we're going to choose from for our colors. And then I've got my Crayola Supertips, and then we're going to shade with these. So I'm going to show you how to do that as well. Let's see if we can maybe zoom in just a little bit. Sorry to move you guys. There we go. So you can see a little bit better. Okay. So she doesn't have like a color palette on the back. She has a color palette right here. So you glance over here to see what numbers. And she also has the light numbers. So I'm not sure if you can actually see those on camera, but I can. So we're going to start with this window first, which is 13, which I bet is light blue. Yep. So we're going to pick a light blue. I really like that one for an outdoor window. B996. So let's see. B996. And I just start in a corner and just kind of keep going across the section. Now, I don't know how much of this page will get done today. I don't think I'll finish it on camera, but when I do finish it, I'll put it on the end of the video so you can see the completed page at the end. But I just wanted to come on and quickly show you, I've been really enjoying my color by number books lately, and so I wanted to show you guys some of what I've got in my collection. I love collecting color by numbers. Another person that you might want to go follow is Hatfield. She loves color by numbers lately too. She's been showing a lot of new color by numbers on her channel. Tammy Colors Too. She likes color by number. If there's any other out there that you like to watch that also do color by number YouTube videos, please put them in the comments below, because I always love checking out new videos with color by number. Dani Buttons, she always did a lot of color by number, but I don't know if she's making any more new videos. I haven't seen anything new posted from her lately. So, but yeah, I don't know what it is about color by number. I don't know if because it takes me back to my childhood. We didn't have a whole lot of color by numbers back then, but when we did find a color by number, I remember being so excited with it. Sometimes actually the Dollar Tree even has color by number books in their selection. So you don't have to be spending a lot of money for a color by number book. And you can still make beautiful pages. It just kind of takes the guesswork out of trying to figure out what color to put on a page. And I feel like whatever artist book you choose, how they like to put the colors on the page is how they assign the numbers, which I think is so cool. Like I noticed with Alexandra Franzese, she must like the color yellow because she does use that a lot in her color by numbers, which is fine. It definitely changes things up. Sachin Sachdeva tends to like to use almost every color on his pages, which can be a little bit too much, I think. I love it more so when the colors actually do go together and you're not using the entire color palette, the entire rainbow in your books. You could do a dark, moody color palette by picking like dark greens, dark reds, dark purples. Or like in this case, I love using my pastels because I love starting out with a nice bright base and then build color on top of that with my shadows. So that's why I like using my pastels first. And I just love the shades of these pastel markers. I mean, they're just such cool shade of colors. It's not your normal greens, your normal blues, your normal purples. Like that's really the only red that I have. So that I'll be using for my red shades. And the pinks are so pretty. But yeah, I love my pastel markers. I noticed there's other companies too coming out with pastel markers, which is nice. All right, let's see. What's 9? 9 is light green. So we know we need 3 greens. We need a light green, a green, and a dark green. So I think I like this one for my light green. So G794. G794. So we're going to do number 9. And this one. Another fun thing to do too is while I've got a color picked, I love going over the rest of the page and seeing if I can find any of that same number anywhere else on the page. So that's always fun too, especially when you're doing those mystery color by number books. I literally just pick one marker and I'll go through the whole page and try to find that number again. Be like, ooh, I found one. It's like a hide and seek game. I do have kind of a hard time talking and coloring at the same time. Do you guys have a problem? I never know what to talk about when I come on here either. You know, I think life is busy for everybody. We're all just trying to get by the best we can. And that's why coloring is so important, to take time to do something creative, something that's not on your phone or not being bombarded with constant notifications. That's always nice. Sometimes just to sit quietly and color. Let's see if there's any other number 9s. We got 10 and 11. 11, 10. Oh, 9. Ooh, look. 9 is all right here on these cabinets. Ooh, this is going to be interesting. Did I put, okay, phew. For a minute there, I thought I didn't put a blotter sheet underneath. I've done that before. And that is not fun. Some of the writing from the back of the page is coming through, but that's all right. Once it dries, you won't even notice it. It's just because it's wet right now. Oh, that's a 9 too. I wonder if this is an apple with some greenery on it, or maybe a pear. I think that might be a pear. I feel like this green is starting to run out. I'm so sad. I haven't had these that long. I got these for Christmas. But sometimes I wonder about these smaller markers. They're not as big as the brush tip. And so I think the brush tip nib ones have more ink in them than these smaller ones, but that's all right. They also were a little cheaper. All right, I think that's all we have for number 9 right now. Let's see, what else do I want to do? This number 2. What's 2? 2 is pink. So let's find a pretty pink. What kind? So we need a light pink and just a regular pink. Is there a dark pink? I always like to see what colors there are, because in case you might need to go a shade lighter or a shade darker, you want to make sure you've got the right color. So do we want to do this hot pink or do we want to do cotton candy pink? I think, which that's kind of a purple. I don't know, to me those look like lilac, so I kind of want to do a purpley pink. Okay, we're going to do cotton candy. RV 195. What is RV 195? Oh yeah, I like this choice. Okay, let's see more too right here. I really like the way that's coming out. That's quite cute. Is there any other twos? Oh, I see twos here in this bowl. There's two right here on this vase. Let's see, any other twos? There's a three. Three. I don't see any. Okay, so we've got that done. What's three? Three, I feel like three is red. Yes, three is red. So red, we're going to use this light prawn, 296. Here we go. Ooh, that's pretty. I actually like how those two colors look next to each other. This mushroom is 3. That's cute. The little handles to turn on the water is a mushroom. That's so cute. Oh, I saw 3 down here. Any other 3s? I don't see any. Oh wait, yes, right here. These apples are 3s. Okay. Oh wait, this right here, this towel is a 3. Ooh, you know what I kind of want to do? I want to make it like a gingham. Well, let's color it solid, and then when I go over it with my water-based markers, we can make it a gingham color. And then maybe take our gel pen. Ooh, yeah, that's what I want to do. All right. Let's see. All right, before we get too much further, let me bring in my water-based markers and let's do some shading with those. Let's see. Okay, so I've got my chart. Oh, you know what? I picked the wrong chart. This doesn't have my swatches in it. Okay, I'm gonna put you on pause for 1 minute and go grab my other color chart book. Hold on just a second. Okay, I'm back with my color chart book I actually wanted. All right, so Crayola. This is my newer box. Let's see. So these purples, oh, I kind of like that number. Yes, I think we're going to go with number 25. So I just numbered these myself because they don't come with numbers. I actually just take a Sharpie and write the number on the bottom of the, as I pull them out and swatch them, I'll write them, do it in order and write the number. So then I have a guide to use. So this I'm going to outline. Now the reason why I like to use water-based markers to shade is because you can get really close to the black lines without going over. I feel like when you try to do that with alcohol markers, especially when there's already an alcohol marker base, it just bleeds really bad over the edge. So I like to come in with my water-based markers just to do the outlining or the shading. You can dot with it to give it a little texture. And I actually don't mind the streakiness when it's just for shading. Okay, so I'm imagining there might be some light coming in through the window. So this side is going to be lighter than this side. So I'm literally just going to follow the shapes on this side of the flower, like that. Just a solid line. And then we're going to come in and go around some of these interior pieces to make it pop. Now the number 2 is right there. I'm not sure if you can see that, but if you don't like that, I would just make a little circle like that. So it looks like it's a petal. And then you've covered up your little number. And literally just leave it like that and then go on to the next one. Then what we're going to do is come in with our white jelly roll, because I love my white jelly roll number 10. And we're going to add highlights to the opposite side. And this jelly roll glides perfectly on top of the alcohol marker. It doesn't do so great if you were to lay down a base of crayon or colored pencil, but it does do really good. Of course, on these light colors, it's not so noticeable. But then I'll sometimes put in some dots because I love to add highlights into the dark areas. And it just kind of brings it all together. So yeah, I'll bring it up closer to the camera so you can see how I shaded it. Literally just went around this side, filled in some of the spots in the middle, and then covered up the number in the middle. So there, that simple, easy way to cover up your numbers. Granted, it definitely helps that the numbers are lighter gray on this type of paper, but yeah, I mean, if it's a darker color, it's definitely gonna show up. And I love the contrast between the dark and the light and then the white. So it's kind of gives a nice little gradient. All right, so we're going to come into this side. I'm going to go underneath this leaf. And then down the side. And you literally just pick a color. That's why it's so important to color swatch, so you can put your colors next to each other and see, you know, just how good it's going to look. Like, I just love going like a couple shades darker than what the base color is. And then it just adds a nice little definition. Now, you could also like change up a color, like say it's a yellow green and you put on like a greenish blue on top. That would look really pretty. So you could take other colors and use them as shadows as well. You don't have to do a dark color. All right, I'm going to come in. Oh, I didn't cover up my number 2. So we're going to literally come in and then dot around. See, it looks like it's part of the flower. And then I'm going to add in some highlights and dots. You could also do this with, do I have a yellow? Yes, I do. I have a yellow Moonlight Jelly Roll pen. And you could put in where you think the sunlight comes in. That kind of looks cool too. You can use different colored gel pens to add some highlights, so you don't have to use white. But yeah, see how it just kind of, by putting those different colors in there, it just adds nice dimension to it, I feel like, in my opinion. Not everyone sees things the way I do. This is just how I like to color, and I just wanted to come on and show you guys how you can achieve this look as well. And I just love the water-based markers for this because it's so easy to just do a line on one side. And you really don't have to worry about where the light source is coming in. I mean, honestly, just pick a side to put a shadow and don't put anything on the other side. That's really all you have to do. Okay, so now we're going to come over here. I'm just going to do this side. Hopefully you guys can see this okay on camera. Let's try zooming you in even more so you can really see what I'm doing. Okay, so we're going to go on to this side. Oh, no, I'm supposed to be doing this side. Whoops, because the sunlight's coming in. My bad. It wouldn't have looked, it really is fine. You don't have to worry about it. I'll pretend it's that leaf is covering over it. And then we want to go under, cover up the 2, do some dots. And there. And then I'll bring in my yellow jelly roll and add some highlights. And we've got that done. Look how quick and easy this is to add some shadows into your pages. You can do this with any page, not just color by number. Any color and page you do. Put down a layer of alcohol marker and then take your water-based markers and go over the top. Like so. There. Yeah, I think that's looking really cool. All right, so I'm going to continue on. I don't know if I should do any more on camera. What time is it? This is already 48 minutes long, so let's not. Let me zoom you out. I think we're going to end it here. I will, at the end of this video, put on my completed page for you guys. So I'm going to finish this page, and then you'll see it at the very end, what it looks like. But I hope this gave you some inspiration to pick up some color by number books yourself, or just even try this coloring style on some of your books that you already own. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.